Hey, 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 welcome to day 3 of our 14 Days to Success, or Get Whatever You Want in Less Than 2 Weeks video series. I guess it's a video series. I'm doing one a day for 14 days, and I'm doing it right along with you. I'm working with Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich book. I think I've shared that several times. And the 13 steps, and I'm making it 14 so we can wrap it all up. Steps to getting whatever you want in under 2 weeks. I'm using it to lose 7 pounds by January 7th. Thus, the lovely green drink that I am gagging down because it's a concoction of my own creation. It's not delicious, but I do make myself drink one every morning when I'm trying to focus on my health and get myself back on track. And that's what I'm doing as part of this 14-day challenge. I guess it's a 14-day challenge or a 14-step process. And today's message is one of the shortest in the entire book, but I think it's probably one of the most important, if not the most important. It's all about autosuggestion. Well, you're probably saying, well, what the heck is autosuggestion, Sharon? That seems like a pretty silly big word for something I'm not even sure what you're talking about. Well, autosuggestion is basically the only technique that we human beings use to take the thought of something that we want and give it to our subconscious mind. Now, our subconscious mind is the driver of everything in our lives. It regulates our breathing, it regulates our thinking, it regulates all of our bodily functions, which are, I think it's billions or trillions of them happen in a given day, or like millions simultaneously or something. And that is the controller of everything in our miraculous human bodies. So when and if, and not if, when you master the ability to communicate with that subconscious part of your being, and you can give it instructions to help create what you want, you're virtually unstoppable. So that's why I think this chapter is really super exciting. I'm going to run through and share some of the highlights and the things that I've highlighted in it, and then also, of course, share my thoughts on the things that I've highlighted, because, of course, I have an opinion and thoughts about them, and examples of how they have or have not worked in my past life, and how I plan to use them moving forward as I go about this challenge and this 14-step process. Again, instead of trying to acquire a monetary goal, which is what this whole book is about, Think and Grow Rich. Hello, it's about money. And I'm using it to show that it can be used for other things as well in our lives that we want to achieve. I want to achieve optimum health, because I've learned over my many decades of experience that if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. If we're sick, and I actually have a cold, which is why I'm all bundled up today, and it's snowing and not really blizzardy outside, but it's definitely snowing and super cold here. I want to go ahead and improve my health. So that's why I'm choosing a health focus for this first challenge, because this will definitely be the first challenge of my year. It won't be my last. I am one of those people that loves personal challenges, and I set little interim goals for myself throughout the year. So this is just my first one for 2018. I'm just starting a little early, and I'm bringing you along with me. So, autosuggestion. It's the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. It is how we feed our subconscious mind the instructions for what we really want. So the first step was determining what you want. What do you desire? What is it that you want specifically? And in that, we covered the process for how you need to communicate that to your mind, how you need to write that, what you need to say, and that you need to do that at least, remember, in the morning and at night. Now, I'm assuming you've done that by now, since we're on day 3, and that you've actually read it a couple of times. So the first step was all about, well, what do I want? It is incredible how many people in the world and in this country have no idea what they want. If you don't believe me, do a little informal survey today and ask a couple of people, hey, what do you want most in life? And 98% of the people in the world, and that you speak to and that I speak to every day, will be speechless or stumble and stagger over answering that question, because we're so busy going through the motions of our life, just running through our lives, doing the things that we think we have to do instead of the things we want to do, that we forget to create our own lives. We forget that we have the power to decide what we want and then go after that. And we don't need anyone's permission, by the way. We don't need anyone outside of our permission to go for what we want and to know that we deserve whatever it is that we want. Because if we can imagine it, we can have it. A lot of times we'll make excuses as to why we don't have it yet, and we'll beat ourselves up for not having it yet, thinking, oh, I should have been a millionaire by the time I was 20, or I should have done this, or I should have done that. Well, if you should have, then you would have, because you sure could have. Well, instead of shoulding all over ourselves, let's just keep moving forward in our lives to create what we want. Because as we learn more and know more, then we can create more and be more and do more and have more of what it is that we really desire and that we really want and that really makes us happy. So autosuggestion. Basically, all autosuggestion is it's self-suggestion, and it's using all of our five senses, and we'll get into the sixth sense later on in the program, but autosuggestion is using our five senses: sight, sound, taste, smell, feeling, and using those senses to communicate to our subconscious. Our subconscious mind picks up and stores every single experience, everything that happens to us, every thought, every feeling, every smell, every taste, every sound that we hear in our lifetime. Our subconscious is this incredible recording device that captures all of that. Now, our conscious mind, if we're looking at something and focusing on something and visualizing something, or if we're seeing a car accident, for example, every single person that sees that car accident, hears that car accident, smells the burnt rubber, or the fire or the smoke from that accident, every single one of the people that witnessed that will actually experience that car accident differently. Our subconscious will record all of our senses, not just what we see on a conscious level, but all of our senses. Everything that happened with respect to that event gets recorded and stored in our subconscious mind. For the actual functioning of our being and our bodies and our physical life, as well as this great storehouse of inputs and sensory information that we can call upon later on in our life if we need to. So autosuggestion is the way of actually supercharging that process that occurs naturally and doing it on purpose instead of just letting it happen to us. Most of us just let all of our experiences and all of our information that travels to our subconscious mind just happen by default. It just happens as we're living our daily life. But autosuggestion allows you to actually control that process, to take charge of that process and decide and control some of what you're going to feed your subconscious mind so that it now goes to work for you in helping you supercharge and achieve what you want, not just what happens by you and in your life. No thought, whether it is negative or positive, can enter the subconscious mind without the aid of the principle of autosuggestion. With the exception of thoughts picked up from the ether. So we can actually get messages from the infinite intelligence or the ether, and this might be a little too woo-woo for you if this is the first time you're hearing things like this. That was mean. I just hung up on my mom. She doesn't know I'm in the middle of a video. She'll probably call me again, but if she doesn't, I'll call her back as soon as this is over. So infinite intelligence actually has the ability to give us messages that we haven't observed, is what that means. And that is really super critical and key to our success in anything that we want. Because now we're not just depending on our experiences and what we know and what we understand, but there's this infinite power or this God power or this infinite intelligence, whatever that looks like or is for you and your ability to understand. It's kind of like having a guardian angel or like God or spirits or whatever looking out for you and helping you and giving you information. I mean, some people like that version of how it works. And it's different for each of us how we understand that and how we describe that. And I'm sure I'm not doing a great job describing it because I have a different understanding of what infinite intelligence is, then, and the ether, than probably other people. And other people have different understandings or beliefs about it than I do. And that's okay, because it's whatever works for us is what's important. Autosuggestion is, I'm going to just read this as a quote. Autosuggestion is the agency of control through which an individual may voluntarily feed the subconscious mind thoughts of a creative nature, or neglect and permit thoughts of a destructive nature to find their way into the rich garden of the mind. Now, that's kind of scary. Basically, what he's telling us and what he's observed by thousands and thousands of observations is that if you're not controlling and choosing what you want to feed your subconscious mind, it's always getting fed, no matter what. So if you're not giving it the positive things and focusing on what you want and sending those messages to your subconscious mind is picking up whatever is around it or whatever you're experiencing. So if you're around negative things, and again, this one reminds me of watching the news. If you're watching the news every day and thinking about and focusing on and feeling emotional about the stories, because let's be honest, the news is presented in a way to generate emotion. And the way you get to the subconscious mind and with autosuggestion is by adding emotion to the things that you're thinking about and experiences and feelings. So if you're watching the news and it's negative and you're having all these sad, negative thoughts, those are experiences are being fed to your subconscious and creating more of that in your life. By following these instructions for autosuggestion, you communicate the object of your desire directly to your subconscious mind in a spirit of absolute faith. Remember, the second step of all of this was faith and belief that it's possible for you. So if you're sending messages to your subconscious mind, but you don't really believe what you're sending, so I can repeat 1,000 times, I am 7 pounds lighter. I am 7 pounds lighter. I am fit, trim, energized, and active. I am in perfect health. I can say those to myself 1,000,000 times, 1,000,000, billion, trillion times. But if I don't believe it, if I don't have faith that it's possible and true for me, guess what? I might as well not even be sending any messages to my subconscious mind, because inadvertently I am sending that I don't believe it to my subconscious mind. So guess what I'm getting? I am getting, and my subconscious mind is always supporting me in my beliefs, whether they're positive or negative, my subconscious mind will always create for me what I'm telling it I want it to create. So if I'm telling my subconscious mind, I heard, I have pain in my hips, I have pain in my hips, I have pain in my hips, guess what I'm going to get? More pain in my freaking hips, because that's what I keep telling my subconscious mind that I want. Now, if I say without any emotion, my hips feel great, my hips feel great, my hips feel great, my hips feel fine, but I don't really believe it, guess what? I'm still sending the message to my subconscious, my hips hurt, my hips hurt, my hips hurt. So what am I going to get? More of my hips hurting. So that's just a little example of how this applies to absolutely everything in our lives. Everything in our lives. Let's see what other wisdom he has for us. Again, so when you're reading the statements aloud, and he recommends that you write out, and I recommend that you write out. I'm going to share my secret strategy for how I call these affirmations. I use affirmations and visualization to do autosuggestion for myself. And I have found that to be super effective. So in a minute, I will share my personal strategy of how I apply this to my life with you. But I want to share how he tells us to do it first, because I think that it's an awesome starting point for everyone and anyone who hasn't really taken control of their life and taken control of feeding their subconscious and creating what they want. So again, reading aloud the statements of your desire through which you are endeavoring to develop money consciousness, because remember, he's talking all about money consciousness. The mere reading of the words is of no consequence unless you mix emotions or feelings with your words. Again, if you repeat 1,000,000 times, day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better, without mixing emotions or faith with it, your words, your subconscious mind recognizes and acts only upon the thoughts that have been well mixed with emotions or feelings. So you want to make sure that whatever it is that you're suggesting and auto-suggesting or self-suggesting to your subconscious is mixed with feeling and emotion. The more of your five senses that you can bring into your affirmation or your self-suggestion with feeling and emotions, the more senses and feelings and emotions you can bring into that activity, the faster and easier the subconscious mind will begin to act upon that. And again, you learn to reach your subconscious mind with thoughts or spoken words that have been well emotionalized with belief. Again, don't become discouraged if this doesn't come naturally to you, and if you have to work at figuring out how to reach your subconscious mind and what works best for you. Start today. Start right now testing and trying and figuring out what does work best for you and how you can most quickly and easily send messages to your subconscious mind. Again, Napoleon Hill mentions that there's no something for nothing. You're not going to get this 100% right your first time. You're not going to give one suggestion to your subconscious and then have it materialize in 2 seconds the first time you try to do this. It takes practice, just like anything else. And autosuggestion actually is most powerful when you make it an integral part of your life, when it just becomes automatic. Autosuggestion, automatic. I like anything on autopilot, and that's a positive habit I am all for, because I'm trying to make my life simple and easy and work on autopilot like most of us want to. Especially the older we get, the more we want things to be systematized and routine and automatic, especially in our businesses. I don't know about you, but anything I have to do repetitively in my businesses and in my life, I set up a system for that so that I do it, or I can teach someone else how to do it on autopilot or automatically. It's super powerful, and it allows us to accomplish 100 times more than we could ever accomplish if we have to think about every time we go to do the dishes, if we have to relearn and rethink about, and not even relearn, but think about how we're going to load the dishwasher or how we're going to do the laundry. If we have to rethink about that and we don't have a strategy for handling that every day and or on whatever frequency it has to be dealt with, it just wastes so much of our time and energy. And so we don't want to do that. I know I don't want to do that. Again, he goes on to say the price of the ability to influence your subconscious mind is everlasting persistence in applying the principle described here. So it's practicing and always using autosuggestion, always using affirmations, always feeding your subconscious what you want it to be fed. And what I love about this strategy and this technique is it works for everyone. It doesn't just work for intelligent people. It doesn't just work for challenged people. It doesn't just work for rich people. It doesn't just work for poor people. It works for anyone and everyone who applies this strategy. It works for. Any human being can use autosuggestion to give information to their subconscious to create what they want in their life. You can do it. I can do it. Everyone you know can do it. Here's the rub. Most people, most human beings, even though we all have this ability and can do this, most of us don't. Most of us don't even know that we can do this or have the ability to do it, much less do we take the initiative to actually figure it out, learn it, and do it on a repetitive, everyday basis. I mean, it's like any other habit. If you want to create something awesome in your life, you will do something to move you toward that every day. It's the same with autosuggestion or affirmations. You just do them every day. It just becomes an automatic thing because you want to make sure you're controlling some of what you're feeding your subconscious to create what you want in your life. If you're not creating it, it's getting created for you by default. Your ability to use this principle of autosuggestion will depend very largely upon your capacity to concentrate upon a given desire until that desire becomes a burning obsession. So basically, what Napoleon Hill is saying is how effective you are at using your autosuggestion or affirmations and creating what it is that you want in your life is dependent on how committed you are to actually achieving and having what it is that you say that you want. I am 100% committed to losing 7 pounds by January 7th. I don't care if it comes to January 6th and I've only lost 1 pound and I have to lose 6 more by January 7th. I will be fasting and doing a detox or whatever it is I have to do to ensure that I am down 7 pounds by January 7th. I have set that. I am obsessed with that. That is fixed in my mind. No matter what it takes, no matter how many green drinks I have to drink, no matter how much I have to detox or whatever it happens to be that my subconscious mind will feed to me, I will be down 7 pounds by January 7th. I'm obsessed with making sure that that happens. Now, how obsessed are you with what you've selected to achieve by January 7th? How obsessed are you to achieve what your definite purpose is, what you've decided that your life is about, and what you're going to accomplish here as a human being on the planet? What is that? Do you know what that is? If you don't, guess what? Jump back a couple of steps or wait until after this 14 days if you so choose, and then go back through this process again and say, okay, what is my definite purpose? What am I here to do in this world? And I think I've shared that my definite purpose has changed over the decades. I mean, when I was younger, I just wanted financial success. And financial success to me was different than it was probably for anyone else who wants financial success, but that was my definite purpose. And then I realized somewhere along the way that I no longer had a definite purpose. I had achieved, financial success by most people's standards, and I was kind of lost for a long time because I wasn't striving toward anything. I didn't have a definite purpose. I was still going after the monetary things in life with my husband. We were working and having lots of businesses and doing things like that. But it was pretty hollow because it wasn't an overriding definite purpose. It wasn't what I wanted to accomplish in my life anymore because we'd already achieved that. And so I was kind of just living by default, going day by day, going through the motions, running through my life, and just doing what I thought I was supposed to be doing at that particular time in my life. But it was really hollow and it was not very rewarding. And so I encourage you to really spend some time and energy thinking about, what am I here for? What is my definite purpose? And you don't have to have the answer, but ask it, and your subconscious mind, guess what? It'll tell you. It will show you. It will tell you. I am 100% confident that you will get the answer if you ask the question. Napoleon goes on to say, here is a most significant fact. The subconscious mind takes any orders given it in the spirit of absolute faith and acts upon those orders. Although the orders often have to be presented over and over again through repetition before they are interpreted by the subconscious mind. Consider the possibility of playing a perfectly legitimate trick on your subconscious mind by making it believe, because you believe it, that you must have the amount of money or lose 7 pounds or the person of your dreams or to help 1 billion people achieve their dreams, whatever it is for you. You're visualizing that this thing or money is already awaiting your claim, that the subconscious mind must hand over to you a practical plan for acquiring the money or the thing that you desire, which is yours. Hand over this thought to your imagination and see what your imagination can or will do to create practical plans for accumulating the money or whatever it is you desire through transmutation of your desire. Do not wait for a definite plan through which you intend to exchange services or merchandise in return for the money or whatever you want you are visualizing. Begin at once to see yourself in possession of the money or whatever you want, demanding and expecting meanwhile that your subconscious mind will hand over a plan or plans that you need. Be on alert for these plans, and when they appear, put them into action immediately. They will probably flash into your mind through the sixth sense in the form of inspiration. This inspiration may be considered a direct message from the infinite intelligence. Treat it with respect and act upon it as soon as you receive it. Failure to do so will be fatal to your success. So when you get a gut instinct or a feeling or a flash or an idea of something that you should do to move you toward what you want, do it. Take that first step. Do it immediately. So for example, I woke up this morning thinking, all right, I've got this 7 pounds by the 7th thing going on. I need to drink my green drink every morning. And it's a concoction that I've made and had in the past. It works really well for me. Gives me a lot of energy, makes me feel great. Doesn't taste awesome, but it doesn't taste horrible. It's actually a little too sweet for me, but I know it makes me feel good. So my inspiration this morning as I woke up and was thinking and meditating was, all right, you need a green drink every day between now and the 7th. That will help you reach your goal. Now, I don't know where that came from. Now, I do have past experience with that, so my subconscious probably said, Sharon, this has worked for you in the past, so let's go ahead and do that because we know it's going to give you the energy you need to do whatever you have to do to achieve your desire. I'm getting a little obsessed with it. Can you tell? He goes on to say, when visualizing the money or whatever it is you intend to accumulate, with closed eyes, see yourself rendering this service or delivering the merchandise you intend to give in return for this money. This is important. Again, it's important to see yourself doing what you need to do successfully and successfully achieving the result that you want. So I see myself, I will close my eyes today sometime, and I will see myself successfully 7 pounds lighter by January 7th. I will see myself with more energy, moving more freely, my joints and my body less achy. That's probably not a great way to phrase that. Feeling awesome. And me drinking my green drinks, eating healthy foods, doing whatever I need to do to achieve that goal. Anything I get from my subconscious mind that, or any inklings I get that tell me to do a certain thing, I am going to go ahead and do that. He goes on to share a summary of the instructions that we've gone over both in the first section about defining what you want and the process for doing that, and then the self-confidence exercise. And I'm actually going to read this to you because I do think it's important to get examples that aren't just me, that show you how to apply this in your life. So just a summary of the instructions from faith and from desire. He goes on to clarify this with the 3-step process. Step 1, go into some quiet spot, preferably in bed at night, where you will not be disturbed or interrupted. Close your eyes and repeat aloud so you may hear your own voice and your own words. The written statement of the amount of money or whatever it is you desire that you intend to accumulate, the time limit for its accumulation, and a description of the service or merchandise you intend to give in return for the money. So, for example, this is about money. Mine is about losing 7 pounds by January 7th. And so my time limit, January 7th, my losing 7 pounds, and what I'm going to do to make sure that that happens in my life are the things that I will visualize. As you carry out these instructions, see yourself already in possession of the money. For example, suppose you intend to accumulate $100,000 by the 1st of January 5 years hence, and that you intend to give personal service in return for the money in the capacity of a sales representative. Your written statement of your purpose should be similar to the following. By the first day of January 20 whatever, I will have in my possession $100,000, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim. In return for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality of service as a sales representative of, describe the service or merchandise that you intend to sell. I believe I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me in the proportion that I deliver the service I intend to render in return for it. I am awaiting a plan by which to accumulate this money, and I will follow that plan when it is received. Step 2, repeat this program night and morning until you can see in your imagination the money you intend to accumulate. Step 3, place a written copy of your statement where you can see it night and morning. Read it just before retiring and upon rising until it has been memorized. Again, remember to add emotion and feeling as you're reading your statement. Don't just read your statement la 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 in a monotone. Add feelings. Feel the feelings of having what you want. Feel the feelings in your body and in your mind of already losing that 7 pounds. Feel the feelings of having that money if you happen to have selected a specific amount of money. Feel yourself holding it. What does it feel like? Feel yourself smelling it. What does it smell like? Can you hear it crinkle? Can you shuffle through it and see yourself shuffling it and hear the wind rolling through the bills, the $100 bills or whatever it is for you? The time will soon come if you do as you have been instructed, meaning follow these auto-suggestion strategies by using your 5 senses and your visualization and your faith to send messages to your subconscious mind of your desire as if you have it already, and be obsessed with doing whatever it takes to get it. The time will soon come if you do as you have been instructed in the spirit as well as in action, when a whole new universe of power will unfold to you. Skepticism in connection with all new ideas is characteristic of human behavior and human beings. We're all skeptical. We're all doubtful by nature. But if you follow the instructions outlined, your skepticism will soon be replaced by belief, and this in turn will soon become crystallized into absolute faith. People may gain control of themselves and their environment because they have the power to influence their own subconscious mind, and through it, gain the cooperation of infinite intelligence. You guys, that's super duper powerful. I don't know. It's incredible how powerful it is, and I really challenge you to test this out for yourself today. Test it out with something small. Think of a small thing that you want. Maybe you want a hug from somebody. That's a pretty simple one. Let's do a simple one. So say you want somebody in your life to give you a hug today without asking. So visualize that person giving you a hug. How does that hug feel? What do they smell like? What does it feel like? What sensations go through your body as someone's giving you a hug? That person that you want, that you desire to give you a hug, giving you a hug. Visualize that. See that in your mind, and do it a few times today. I mean, that's a pretty simple, easy thing to get a hug from somebody. Do that and see if you don't get that hug from somebody today. I'm going to do that. I'm going to manifest a hug using my subconscious mind from somebody today, and I'll report back tomorrow if I get that hug or not. Because I don't always get hugs. I live on my own nowadays, so there aren't always hugs available, but I'm going to see myself getting that hug. I'm going to visualize it. I'm going to auto-suggest it. I am going to add all my senses and emotions and feelings to it, and I'm going to get that hug. I challenge you to do the same. Try that. It doesn't have to be a hug. I mean, I think it can be whatever you want, but you pick something and try it. Try it on a small thing today, and I guarantee that when you make it happen in your life, you will be making this a habit. You will be using auto-suggestion and affirmations every single day. Now, that just triggered in my memory that I forgot to share my favorite affirmation strategy with you. Not sure where I learned this, and I should have my cards here because I usually do, but I don't have them where I'm filming this, so I just want to share the strategy with you quickly. Affirmations are, to me, the fastest way to use auto-suggestion. Auto-suggestion kind of sounds complicated to me, so I think Louise Hay is probably who I learned affirmations from originally. Not sure, but probably. And somewhere else along the way, I learned another way of doing affirmations that I call afformations, because I'm forming what I want in my life. And instead of it just being an I am statement, affirmations are I am fit and trim. I am energized. I am infinite intelligence. I am happy. I am full of life and vigor. Whatever it is, whatever you say after I am is an affirmation. And guess what? Whatever you say after I am, you are telling your subconscious and feeding your subconscious that. Now, the whole belief and faith thing comes into play here. You can say a gazillion I ams, but if you don't believe it and if you don't say it with feeling, you're not going to create it in your life. And you may very well create just the opposite of what you want in your life. If you say, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, but you don't believe it, you might find yourself in financial difficulty because you're giving the message to your subconscious through your feelings and thoughts and emotions that say, I am broke, I am broke, I am broke. Even though you're saying, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, your subconscious is saying, bullshit, you've got $25,000 of credit card debt, you ain't a millionaire, you're broke. And that's what's going to keep manifesting in your life. So that's the challenge with autosuggestion, and that's the challenge and the thing you need to practice with affirmations and affirmations is to make sure that you're adding the appropriate feelings and belief and faith and emotions to the affirmations that you're making. So, affirmation, instead of being just the one step I am statement, I take the affirmation that I want to incorporate into my being and I say it 3 different ways. And I do this because it gets over my defenses and my natural, because we human beings have a natural ability to shut stuff off and make it negative because of the environment that we're raised in, for the vast majority of us. It kind of short circuits that negativity process and gets it into my subconscious mind faster. And how I do that is I make the regular I am statement. I am fit and trim. Then I add the statement, I am fit and trim right now. And finally I say, why is it so easy for me to be fit and trim or fit and trim now? Why is it so easy for me to be blank, whatever I want? Why is it so easy for me to be happy? I am happy. I am happy right now. Why is it so easy for me to be happy, or why is it so easy for me to be happy right now? And this strategy, the 3-part strategy, does all kinds of things to short circuit the negativity, short circuit any possibility of me saying, I don't believe that, I'm not happy right now. So then I'm feeding my subconscious, I'm not happy, instead of I am happy. And it allows me, by asking the question, to get around and actually make my subconscious answer for me and feed up examples and proof that I am happy. So it's a really, really powerful strategy. Try that today. Try that to get a hug. Try that to get some small thing that you want to achieve in your life and see how that works for you. Today, I'm awesome. I am awesome right now. Why is it so easy for me to be awesome? That's the one I'm going to use today. So go out and make it an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow.